So first one is the data and the information as well as the data communication. What does it, what do you mean by data? Data actually refers to the raw facts that are collected. While information, what is that? That is refers to the processed data that enables us to take some decisions. As for example, when a result of a particular test is declared, it contains data of all students. When you find the marks you have scored, you have the information that lets know whether you have passed or failed. So here the word data refers to any information which is presented in a form that is agreed and accepted upon by the creators as well as users. So what do you mean by data communication then? Data communication, that is the process of exchanging data or information. Now, in case of computer networks, this exchange, it is to be done between two devices over a transmission medium. Now, this process involves a communication system which is made up of hardware as well as software. Now, the hardware part involves the sender and receiver devices, and the intermediate devices through which the data passes. Now, the software part, which involves certain rules which specify what is to be communicated or how it is to be communicated and when. And it is also called as a protocol. It is also called as a protocol. Okay. So the effectiveness of any data communication system, it depends upon these four fundamental characteristics. The first one is the delivery, second is accuracy, then timeliness, and the last is the jitter. So according to the delivery, the data should be delivered to the correct destination and correct user. Accuracy means the communication system that should deliver the data accurately without introducing any errors. The data that may get corrupted during transmission affecting the accuracy of the delivered data, but that should be overcome. There are lots of methods which you can apply it so that the error-free data can be received. Third is the timeliness. So audio and video data, that is to be delivered in a timely manner without any delay. And this type of data delivery, basically called as real-time transmission of data. Both audio and video will be delivered. Okay. And the last is the jitter, where it is the variation in the packet arrival time. So uneven jitter that may affect the timeliness of data which is being transmitted. So these four fundamental characteristics are very important in case of any data communication system. Okay.
So I didn't understood jitter, sir. Jitter.
It is the variation in the packet arrival time. Is the
Packet
variation in
arrival
packet
timeliness
means the data that can be sent at a certain amount of time, and the receiving time, if it is much more delay than the accepted calculated time delay, then it is called the jitter. That is the variation of the packet arrival time from the sender to the receiver end. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Move on to the next slide. So the components of data communication. So here is the figure in this diagram. 5 components are there. Okay. Message, sender, receiver, transmission medium, and protocol. So message means information that is to be communicated by the sender to the receiver. What is sender? Now the sender is any device that is capable of sending the data. Is this message? Receiver, what is it? The receiver is a device that the sender wants to communicate the data or this message. Here's this transmission medium. Transmission medium, it is the path by which the message travels from sender to receiver. Okay, it can be wired or wireless, and many subtypes in both. So we will discuss in further lecture wired communication, wireless communication, everything. Next is the protocol. Protocol, it is an agreed upon set of rules used by the sender and receiver to communicate data. So basically, the protocol means it is a set of rules that governs the data communication, and it is a necessity in data communication, without which the communicating entities as for example, two persons trying to talk to each other in a different language without knowing the other language. Okay, so protocol is very major component in data communication. Now next is the data representation. So data is collection of raw facts which is processed to deduce the information, and there may be different forms in which data may be represented. And some of the forms of data used in communications are like text, numbers, images, audio, videos, etc. So text basically it includes combinations of alphabets in small case as well as the uppercase both, and it is stored as a pattern of bits. Okay, like ASCII code. Okay, this is prevalent encoding system. Next is the numbers. It includes the combinations of digits from 0 to 9, and it is stored as a pattern of bits. Images, an image that is worth 1,000 words, and in computers images are digitally stored. It's a combinations of like zeros and ones, so billions and billions of zeros and ones. So this in this context, one term is related, that is the pixel. A pixel is the smallest element of an image. To put it in simple terms, a picture or it is a matrix of pixel elements. Now the pixels are represented in the form of bits depending upon the type of image, black and white or any other colors. So each pixel would require different number of bits to represent the value of a pixel. And the size of an image, it depends upon the number of pixels, what is called the resolution. And the bit pattern used to indicate the value of each pixel. Okay, so commonly used format like all of you have heard about JPG, PNG, BMP, etc. These are the formats of this image. Next is the audio. Now, data that can also be in the form of sound, which can be recorded and broadcasted. So for example, what we hear on the radio is a source of data or information. This audio that is continuous form, not in discrete form. Okay, video. This refers to the broadcasting of data in form of picture or movie. So these are the data representation. Now, data flow. So two devices communicate with each other by sending and receiving data. The data that can flow between the two devices in the in this any of this technique, either in simplex mode or half duplex or full duplex. So what is the simplex technique? Now here the communication is unidirectional. Only one of the devices sends the data and the other one only receives the data. Example here from, suppose this is the CPU of the infrared computer and it says, while suppose there is a monitor which only receives the data. So only one direction the data will be communicated. This is the simplex. Next is the half duplex, where both the stations can transmit as well as receive, not at the same time. So when one device sending other, when one device is sending, the other one what happens that can only receive, and in the same way, so vice versa, both directions, but only at a time, not at the same time. So either it can send a data and it receives the data, or it can send the data and receives the data. That is called half duplex, because data can be transmitted in both directions, but not at the same time. Real life example as walkie-talkie. Third is full duplex. So here the device can transmit and receive at the same time, just like mobile phones. It is based on this full duplex technique. So these are the data flow techniques by which data communication can be made. Next, the computer network. So computer networks are used for every data communication technique, and this can be defined as a collection of nodes. Okay. So there are certain criteria like reliability and as well as the security and the performance criteria, which is to be maintained every time in any computer network. Okay. Takes the different network categories. So one category is available as LAN, or that is called the local area networks. Another is the man metropolitan area network. Another is the wide area network, or WAN. So what is LAN? LAN, that is a group of computers, as you can see it in this figure, group of computers that are connected in a small area such as building, uh, home, etc. So through this type of network, users can easily communicate with each other by sending and receiving messages. It is used for connecting two or more personal computers through some medium such as twisted pair cable or coaxial cable. You have heard about this. Okay. Already you have heard about optical fiber. You have read the optoelectronics last year. So twisted pair cable is there, coaxial cable is there for used as a medium. So through the a number of computers connected in a LAN is uh, limited, the data is transferred at an extremely high rate, faster rate. Okay, but in case of metropolitan area network or MAN, in this type of network, it covers a large area like city. So the size of this network generally lies between this local area network and wide area network. In between, it is called as MAN. So typically, it covers a distance of 5 to 50 kilometer. Now, the geographical area covered by MAN is comparatively larger than land, but smaller than one. Now, this is generally owned by private organizations, and it is connected with the help of optical fibers, copper wires, etc. So one of the most common example of this metropolitan area network is cable TV network within a city. Okay, and a network. So here a network device known as a router that is used to connect the LANs together, and the router directs the information packets to the desired destination. Now, for wide area network, that is a group of computers uh, that are connected in a large area, such as any continent, any country, etc. So, wide area network, these networks are generally used for connecting two or more LANs through some medium, such as least telephone lines, microwaves, etc. So in wide area network, data is transferred at very slow rate. A typical uh, type of connection is over here. So these are the different network categories by which the data can be communicated. Now the type of connection in computer networks. So a network is nothing but a connection made through connection links between two or more devices. So that devices can be a computer, can be a printer, or any other device that is capable of sending or receiving the data. Now there are two ways to connect the devices. One is called point-to-point connection, and that is called the multi-point connection. So in case of point-to-point connection, it is a protocol which is used as a communication link between two devices. It is very simple to establish. Uh, like for example, point to point connection is a computer connected by telephone line. There is one type of example. So we can connect the two devices by means of a pair of wires, or using a microwave or a satellite link. Okay, real life example. So point to point connection between a remote control and television for changing the channels. Okay, another is the multi-point connection, or it is also called multi-drop configuration connection. So here two or more devices share a single link like this. Okay, there are two kinds of multi-point connections. One if the links are used simultaneously between many devices, then it is spatially shared the line configuration. And second is if user takes turns while using the link, then it is time shared, or it is temporal line configurations. Okay, so these two kinds of multi-point connections can be made using this type of configuration. Now next is the types of network topology. So network topology, that is the schematic description of a network arrangement. Network arrangement. Now connecting various nodes. Nodes means the sender and the receiver. These are called nodes. Through line of connection is called one type of topology or the network arrangement. So there are lots of topologies are here, like bus topology, ring topology, star topology, mesh topology, tree topology, hybrid topology, etc. So I will discuss one by one. Now, okay, one thing I have to announce that we have 5 minutes to end this session. After ending it, if it ends, then all of you must join using the same link to continue the second session. So first one is the bus topology. Here you can see this diagram. So bus topology, that is a network type in which every computer and network device is connected to single cable. Single cable. So when it has exactly two endpoints, then it is called linear bus topology. Okay, so different features are over here, like it transmits data only in one direction. Every device is connected to a single cable. So there are certain advantages and disadvantages of this bus topology. What are the advantages? It is cost effective. Here the cable required is least compared to other network topology, because one single cable is to be needed. Used in small networks, it is easy to understand. There is no complex device design. Easy to expand joining two cables together. There are lots of disadvantages also, like cable fails. If one cable, this type of this cable fails, then whole network fails, because it is connected over through this one. Okay. Another disadvantage is if network traffic is heavy or nodes are more, the performance of the network decreases. Okay, so if lots of devices are to be connected over here, then your connection should be, your speed will be less. Cable has a limited length. Okay, this cable has a limited length, and it is obviously stored in the ring topology, which I will discuss later, after that. Now, ring topology, here it is so called a ring because it forms a ring like this, as each computer is connected to another computer with the least one connected to the first. Exactly two neighbors for each device. For this one, it has two. For this one, it has two. For this one, it has two, like this. So there are some features, like a number of repeaters are used for ring topology with large number of nodes, because if someone wants to send some data to the last node in the ring topology with 100 nodes, assume 100 nodes are available, then the data will have to pass through the all these 99 nodes to reach the 100 node. And hence, to prevent data loss, repeaters are used in this network. Okay. Another feature, like the transmission is unidirectional, but it can be made bidirectional by having two connection between each network node. And at that time, it should be called as dual ring topology. Okay. If it is connected via dual ring topology, then two ring networks are formed and data flow is in opposite direction in them. Also, if one ring fails, the second ring can act as a backup to keep the network up. Okay, data is here transferred in a sequential manner, that is bit by bit, and data transmitted has to pass through each node of the network till the destination node or the last node. The different advantages that they are, like transmitting network is not affected by high traffic or by adding more nodes, as only the nodes having tokens can transmit the data. Another advantage is it is very easy to install or to expand the nodes in this ring topology. Disadvantages are like troubleshooting is difficult in ring topology because every device is connected with each other. Each one is connected to the two neighbors like this. So there are disadvantages also, like troubleshooting is difficult in this type of network system, network topology. Adding or deleting the computers disturbs the network activity, and failure of one computer, it disturbs the whole network. Okay, it is not to be connected to the next one. Okay, next move on to the next slide, which is based on the star topology system. So this star topology, all the computers are connected to a single hub through a cable, and this hub is the central node, and all other nodes are connected to this central node. There are certain features, like every node has its own dedicated connection to the hub. This hub acts as a repeater for data flow, and this can be used with the twisted pair cable or optical fiber cable or some coaxial cable also. Different advantages are there, like fast performance with few nodes and low network traffic. The hub can be upgraded easily, easy to troubleshoot, easy to set up, and also modification is very easy. Only that node is affected which has failed. All others are connected in the same way as it was. The rest of the nodes can work smoothly. Okay, so total network is not disturbed by any way. Which node is failed, that is disconnected only, or other nodes are to be connected in the same way as it is. Now, disadvantages are there, like cost of installation is very high, it is expensive. If the hub fails, then the whole network is stopped because all the nodes depends on the hub. Okay, performance is based on the hub, that is, it depends on its capacity. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of star topology system network. Next is the mesh topology, where the nodes have a routing logic. Okay, now okay, I will discuss this later. The routing funda. It is basically a point-to-point connection to other nodes or other devices. Now, all the network nodes are connected to each other, and this mesh, network mesh, has n into n minus 1 by 2 physical channels to link n number of devices. Okay, now there are two techniques to transmit data over the mesh topology, and these are what is called the routing and another is called flooding. Now, in case of mesh topology for routing, the nodes have a routing logic as per the network requirements, like routing logic to direct the data to reach the destination using the shortest distance, or routing logic which has information about the broken links and it avoids those nodes, etc. So we can even have routing logic to reconfigure the failed nodes again. That is the advantage of having this routing technique. Another is the flooding, mesh topology flooding. So here the same data is transmitted to all the network nodes, and hence no routing logic is required. Now the network is robust and it's very unlikely to lose the data, but it leads to unwanted load over the network. That is the disadvantage of having this flooding technique. There are two types of mesh topology. One is the partial mesh topology, another is full mesh topology. So in partial mesh topology, some of the systems are connected in the same fashion as mesh topology, but some devices are only connected to 2 or 3 devices. But in case of full mesh topology, each and every nodes or devices are connected to each other. So here in mesh topology, these are fully connected to each other. It is robust, or so it can use according to your requirement, either in the shortest way to reach the receiving point or in the normal. Advantages are there, like each connection can carry its own data load. It is robust in nature, fault is diagnosed easily, and it provides the security and the privacy also. Different disadvantages are there, like installation and configuration is very difficult. Cabling cost is more because it is to be connected to each one, and bulk wiring is required. So circuit complexity will be high. Next is the tree topology. So it has a root. It has a root node, and all other nodes are connected to it, forming a hierarchy. So it is also called hierarchical topology, and it should at least have 3 levels to that hierarchy. So features of these tree topologies are like it is ideal if workstations are located in group format, and these are used in WAN network, the wide area network purpose. There are certain advantages like extension of bus and star topologies. Expansion of nodes is possible, and it is very easy to connect, easily managed and maintained, and error detection is easily done. Certain disadvantages over there also, like it is heavily cabled, the cost is high. If more nodes are added, the maintenance will be very difficult, and if the central hub fails, suppose this one, so this network will be failed, or this one, this network will be, or this one, these two networks will be failed. So it creates the branch like this. Okay, so if central hub fails, then network fails. That is the disadvantage. Next is the hybrid topology. Here it is two different types of topologies where which is a mixture of two or more topologies. For example, if in an office in one department ring topology is used and in another star topology is used, connecting these topologies will result in hybrid topology, means both the combinations of ring topology and the star topology, like this. Combinations of two or more topologies will be involved over there. So it is a combinations of several topologies. So it inherits the advantages and disadvantages of the topologies. Those are included into this system. Like if ring topology and star topology both are implemented over here, then the advantage of ring topology and disadvantage of ring topology and star topology advantage and disadvantages will be incorporated into this system. Okay, so but still it has some advantages like reliable as error detecting and troubleshooting is very easy in that case, and it is very effective, scalable as size that can be increased easily as per your choice. It is very flexible. Some disadvantages over there, like it has complex in design, obviously, because more number of topologies will be included into one topology. So complexity will be there, and obviously the cost will be increased in that way. Okay, so these are the different topologies.